All right, we are going to be doing some word problems here, ones that follow the equation y equals mx plus b. Um, I'm starting with, I found my bamboo plant here in the house. I can't show you the mulberry tree, that one's in the backyard. And then the white oak bonsai, that's just imaginary. All right, so we are imagining that I bought three new trees for the classroom. I'm tracking their growth at home, and I'm worried that they're going to become too big for the class. So, the first tree is a bamboo tree. The bamboo tree has a graph right down here. So, let's go ahead and analyze our bamboo tree. So, this is our bamboo tree. I'll highlight this in green. Okay. And it looks like my bamboo tree is starting at 10. And if I find some good dots on here where it touches, here's one right there, and there's one right there. So I can find a rise and a run. Maybe I'll do my rise and run here. So I have three, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Often people think this is a rise of 3, but really it's a rise of 25 to 40. So the change between those would be 40 minus 25, so 15. So I have a rise of 15 there. And then my run is just 5 to 10. So that's going to be a run of 5. So then my slope is going to be 15 divided by 5, or in other words, 3. All right, so let's go back to our bamboo tree there. So I know that I start at 10 inches, and I know that I change with 15 inches per 5. What is that? 5 months, it says down here. And that is a 3 inch per month. Inch per month. All right. We'll change our color here. Let's go with a nice magenta. No, I'm going to keep magenta for the mulberry tree because it's a black mulberry tree, but it stains with a little bit of this color. So let's go ahead and do pink for the white oak bonsai, or peach. I don't know what this is. The most expensive tree I bought was a white oak bonsai. I looked online actually to try and make this seem more reasonable, and I found a few that I wouldn't want for like $200, but the ones I liked were 500 to $3,000. It was a wild range there. The bonsai was the tallest tree when I bought it, so it starts at 30 inches and grows at 2.5 inch each month. So this each is going to be a slope right there. So I could change this into slope format. So 2.5 inches per 6 months. And then that would be, let's run that, 2.5 divided by 6 is 4.1. That doesn't feel right. That's not a 2.5. That's a 25 right there. I put my point in the wrong spot. So 2.5 divided by, there we go. I got a point 416 repeating, and that is also going to be inches per month. Inch per month. Okay, so let's go ahead and graph that on my graph here. So I'm going to be starting off at 30. And they say 2.5 inch per 6 months. I could actually go, I could do that, or I could say it's 5 inches per 12 months. Or I could do it miserably by each month, just cut about zero point 0.4. So I'll show you how to do the 2.5, but I personally would do the 5 for 12 if it were me. So after 6 months right here, I'm going to go up 2.5. So this is up 5. This would be up 2.5. So I start here, and then I'm going to go up to here. And then after 12 months, I'll be up to 35. So I believe that's right there. Let's see if all these lie on the same line. Now, this bonsai is a much slower growing tree. That's why the steepness on this graph here is so very slow. So the way I'm going to write this is 2.5 over 6. In other words, 0.416 repeating. Okay, so now I'm comparing 3 with 0.4, and you can see the difference in the growth there. Let's switch over to my black mulberry color. My favorite tree is the black mulberry tree. Now this one's in the backyard, and I love about late July and through August, this mulberry tree is going to be having berries on there that drop off and stain everything, make a big mess, but they're so tasty. You can't really buy them much because they're so fragile, so it's nice having a tree. All right. He has tracked the mulberry tree's growth on a table. So that's over here. I don't understand why my table's cut off. I'm going to fix this so it looks nicer. There we go. All right. Now, one of the things that I like to do right away is find my slope. Now, I saw students do this many different ways in the class, but I actually like to just jump from my known x and y to my next known x and y. All right, so it's going to be a growth of 15 here. It's going to be a growth of 9 here. And if you're unsure about that, what we're running is a 30 minus 15 for my first one there. So that's my 15. And then I would run a 13 minus 4, and that gives me my 9. All right, again, this is inches. This is my rise. This is my run. So my slope here would be 15 over 9. And let's run that. So 15 divided by 9. And I have 1.6666, 1.66666666. Now, a lot of students, let's put our units on here, inches per month. A lot of students actually noticed that this 15 over 9 can reduce to a 5 over 3. Excuse me. And if it's 5 over 3, that's actually how much this is moving. This is a plus 3, so this must be a plus 5, so that's a 20. And then this is another plus 3 to 10, and this is a plus 5. So they noticed they could fill out the rest of this by reducing this fraction. Now, I don't like doing it that way. Again, I like focusing on these 2 points. So I'm going to take my 4 and my 16, my 4 and my 15. 4 and my 15, I'll put a dot there. I'm going to take my 13 and my 30. 13 and my 30. I'll put a dot there. Right there. And then this is just going to be the line for the mulberry tree. Now this crosses my y-axis on some unknown number here. It looks like it's like 7. I'm not really sure. So it looks around 7. I'm going to say approximately 7, maybe 7.5. I don't really know. And we know that my slope here is 1.6 repeating inch per 1 month. All right, so we have our 3 slopes here. We have a slope. The bamboo is growing at 3 inches per month. The mulberry tree is growing at 1.6 inch per month, and then the bonsai tree is growing very slowly at 0.416 inches per month. Let's see what they actually want me to do here. Let's start reading. What they want me to do is to graph. So I'm supposed to be graphing all these trees with the bamboo line. Oh, so just right over there. I've already done that. That's good. Fill in the missing parts of the table. Okay, I've already, ooh, actually, this is where I would fill in the missing parts now that my graph is done. So I would look here, I would say, hey, this is 7. Where is 7 on my graph? Oh, something's printing here. I don't know what's going on. So 7 is on my graph right here, and then 20, well, let's go up and see if we hit, we basically are right there on 20. So I know 7 goes to 20. Let's see if my 10 goes to 25. If I look at my 10, I go up to the mulberry. Am I touching right there at what? 25. That is 25. So that's personally how I would fill in the 20 and the 10. Oh, I should have gone to 25 and then over down to 10. I'm going a little backwards. So I can find these after I graph my line. So I can find them as a ordered pair on that mulberry line. Our last question here. Which tree is growing the fastest? And it says, hint, compare the slopes. Well, I know that my bamboo equals 3 inches per 1 month. And then I know my mulberry equals 1.6 inches per month. And I know that my bonsai equals just 0.416, repeating, inches per month. All right. And that is our first page. It would look like our bamboo is the winner. Okay, so the bamboo is definitely growing the fastest. Growing the fastest. All right, hope that helps.